All right, I think we are live now. I might refresh this. YouTube Studio is glitching there for a sec. Let's see. Okay, yep, looks to be good. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Let me tweet it out, and then we can get into it. All right, so we have a nice little 6-game slate here. Really excited to talk about this one, guys. A lot better slate than yesterday, in my opinion. I just didn't have a great feeling with yesterday's slate. A lot of just solid defensive teams. Wasn't a whole lot of great plays. You had blowouts yesterday. TJ Warren was a bright spot. If you guys played him, you probably cashed no matter what. Putting up 70, I was really high in him. So hopefully a lot of you played him. I just missed the cash, but ready to get back after it for this slate. Let me bring up fantasy. No, not Twitch. Sorry, my computer is being a little. What is going on here? Okay, I guess I won't be able to do that. I don't know what's going on with my computer right now, but I will go over. I'll look at my phone. I don't think we have any huge news right now. Wizards are starting Napier, Troy Brown Jr., Isaac Bamba, Rui, and Thomas Bryant. That's their same starting lineup as last time. Lance Thomas will remain in the starting lineup for Brooklyn. Not a whole lot of interest there. And then kind of big news here with Jamal Crawford being ruled out. That does make guys like Tyler Johnson a little bit more valuable. Or viable, I should say. So, let's look at the numbers here before we get into the team-by-team breakdown. If you guys are new to this live stream, if you're new to the channel, what we do here is, again, I'll go over the odds. I'll go a team-by-team breakdown, and then I'll get to questions at the end. And I'll talk about, cash plays, GPP plays, stuff like that. So, 6 games, again, Wizards, Nets at 231 over-under. Nets are 3.5-point favorites. Trailblazers and Celtics sitting at 228 over-under. The Celtics are 4-point favorites for the Spurs, and the Grizzlies at 236 over/under. The Grizzlies are 4-point favorites. We have the Kings and the Magic, 227.5 over/under. The Magic are 2-point favorites. Bucks and Rockets 244 over/under. The Bucks are 5-point favorites, and the Mavs and the Suns at 235 over/under. The Mavs are 6-point favorites. Jake Anderson again with the super chat, $5. Let's get it. Let's get it again, man. Thank you so much. Seriously, 3 straight days with the $5 super chat. Really, really do appreciate it. Again, that's not necessary, but greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, again, good slate today. So excited to talk about it. All right, let's start with the first game here, Washington and Brooklyn. So the Washington side is a little bit more tricky to kind of figure out. They did run, I believe, a 9-man rotation, 9 or 10-man rotation, but there's not, I wouldn't consider all these guys. I think there's probably 3 viable plays here in Washington that I would consider. 3, maybe 4. They ran, they actually technically ran a 11-man rotation, but really, the minutes were more condensed with the starters and then Ishmael and Jerome Robinson. So let's start at the top here with Rui at 7-4. There's no need for me to get to Rui in this slate. There's a lot of good studs. Harden, Giannis, Luka. And then there's mid-tier plays I think are really solid with LeVert, DeRozan, John Morant. So that's where I'm kind of looking for up top, and if you're going in the mid-range. And there's a lot of really good value too. So in my opinion, there's no point to get to Rui at that price. Shabazz at 5-4. I mean, him and Ish Smith kind of splitting the minutes. I would just rather get to Ish at a much cheaper price than Shabazz. So, I'm going to pass there. Thomas Bryant is a guy, if you watch my video, I mentioned really liking him, really liking Jakob Poeltl and Jarrett Allen. I think those are your 3 cash game centers. I think that Thomas Bryant will probably go the lowest owned of those 3. But he got 34 minutes, right? I thought at least he was going to be somewhat limited, like maybe 20, 25. They just ran him out there as many minutes as he could handle. Again, a great spot here. There's a lot of, good spots today. But really the 4.8K price point I think is way too cheap for Thomas Bryant. So really do like him. I really like Jarrett Allen on the other side. I think you can run both together. But then you would have to face Jakob Poeltl, who I also love. So you're going to have to make a tough decision there for centers. And I really do think you run the two-center approach. Troy Brown Jr. is viable at 4 or 5. He was in some foul trouble. I think we probably get around 30 to 32 minutes from him. 4 or 5 seems okay. I think he will go a little bit lower owned after having kind of a letdown game being in foul trouble. But I think he's solid, but not my favorite value play. Mo Wagner, I'm not going to get to. Jerome Robinson at 4-2, I think is in play. Again, he got 32 off the bench. Shot the ball really well, though, 7 of 9. So don't know if we can expect that again, that type of shooting. I still think he's in play, too, though. And then lastly, Ishmael is the last guy I want to talk about here at 3-8. I think we probably get around 25 minutes from Ish. They actually did run him and Shabazz a little bit out there together in the fourth quarter, which is good to see, right? They're not going to just split the 48 minutes down the middle. They both got 27. Again, someone has to score the ball on this Washington team, so I think Ishmael is actually a pretty good play there under 4K. And that's really it. So again, I think the viable plays here are definitely Thomas Bryant would probably be my favorite there at 4-8. I think Troy Brown and Robinson are viable too, and then Ishmael. Let's talk about Brooklyn. So Brooklyn is a team I have a lot of interest in. LeVert, I think his ownership will definitely drop today after letting a lot of people down. Wasn't really his fault, though. It was a blowout. He missed out on a good 7 to 8 minutes there. Didn't really see any minutes in the fourth. Again, I know I'm going to say this a lot, but this is a great matchup here going up against Washington, who play no defense. Could be the best possible matchup, honestly. So I really do like LeVert. At 7.8K. I think he has upside to get you 50, 60 in this type of spot. So, and again, all those guys are out, right? No KD, no Kyrie, no Dinwiddie, no DeAndre Jordan. Like all the key pieces are missing where LeVert is going to have to do it all, and it's a really good spot. I'm not really worried about a blowout in this game, so love LeVert there in the mid-range. Also really like Jarrett Allen at 5'6". Again, him, Thomas Bryant and Jakob Poeltl are the 3 centers I am really high on. He only played 27 minutes the last game. Again, don't be worried. He was on pace for about 35 or so. I think if the game would have stayed close. Again, I always mention with Jarrett Allen, but the thing with him in the whole season was you never knew who was going to get more run with him and DeAndre Jordan. They kind of went the hot hand. We saw games where like Jarrett Allen would get closer to like, look, he got 26 minutes, 41 fancy points. 28 minutes, 32 fancy points. Like we're going to see over 30 minutes from Jarrett Allen. So I think he has potential to get you 40, even maybe 50 at the ceiling. So I like Jarrett Allen a lot there at 5'6". I'm not going to get to Joe Harris or Garrett Temple or TLC. No reason to go there. Chioza, I'll pass as well. Only played 17 minutes. Maybe would have got a few extra without the blowout, but I think there's better value on the slate. Lance Thomas at 3-3. I will also pass. Not a high usage guy. The only other guy I want to mention here is Tyler Johnson at 3-2. I'm intrigued by him. He played 19 minutes, shot the ball 2 of 8, put up 20 fancy points. I think he would have probably closed the game out if it was close. So that's my guess, though. I'm not like 100% of that. I guess that could have closed with Shields if it was close, but I think Tyler Johnson is the better player. So I think he probably would have got close to 25 if the game would have stayed close. That's kind of what I'm expecting today. And again, a really good matchup. He's a guy that's, when he's out there, he's going to shoot the ball a ton. So I kind of like Tyler Johnson here at 3-2. I think he goes under the radar as a value play. Karooks, I think there's better value options, so don't think we have to do that. Again, no Jamal Crawford. That's why I have interest in a guy like Tyler Johnson. So all in all for me, there's 3 plays that I like on Brooklyn. I like LeVert a lot. I like Jarrett Allen a lot. And then a guy like Tyler Johnson I think kind of flies under the radar for value, but I think does have upside at his price. Next, let's talk about Portland and Boston. The guards for Portland, no interest there in Lillard or CJ. 9-5 for Lillard, 7-7 for CJ. Again, in my opinion, there's no reason to when we have a lot of solid mid-range plays and a lot of really good plays up top, and then some really, really good cheap value too. So I'm not getting to either of those guards. Nurkic, I have interest in his contrarian play. He's going to go low owned for a 7.7K price point. What you're going to get out of him is probably 30-plus minutes. I'd say 30 to 32. He's a guy that does it all, right? If you look at that recent box score there, 18, 9, 5, 6, and 2. Wouldn't expect 6 blocks again, but Nurkic is a guy that will probably get you a couple blocks, a couple steals, and assists, rebounds. Like he's a guy that will do it all. I think the 7.7K price point, again, makes him just a contrarian play here, but I still think he's viable. I still think he does have 50 fantasy point upside in a matchup like this. Melo's a pass. Whiteside, I'm not going to get there to him with all the really good center plays. Portland is going to run an 8-man rotation, but the only other guy I've mentioned here is Zach Collins at 3-4, and I think he's one of the best value plays of the day. Played 37 minutes, was in foul trouble too, and the price didn't move on him at all. My one concern is he is a guy that usually does get in some foul trouble, but at a 3.4K price point, as long as he doesn't pick up 2 fouls in the first minute, I think he's going to get you there at this price. So I think Zach Collins is one of the best value plays of the day. I think he's going to be popular, but it's for good reason. That's just way, way too cheap. And that's it for Portland. On the Boston side, this will be really quick for me. No interest in anyone. I don't think you get to Tatum at 8-2. Hayward, Brown, Smart, they just seem priced about right. Like Kemba, I don't think we've gotten news if he's for sure going to be in it. We'll have his minutes limit incrementally increased. Okay, so it's going to go up a little bit. 6'9", I have no interest there. Yeah, I have no interest in Boston. Probably one of those wings will have a decent day, whether it be Tatum, Hayward, Brown, even Smart. But on a site like this, I don't think there's any point to try to get one of those or guess on them. So Boston's the team. I know it's a good matchup, but I have no interest. San Antonio. So this is a team I like on this slate. No LaMarcus Aldridge, obviously. DeMar DeRozan coming at 7-6. I think he's one of the better mid-range plays here. Again, him, Karis LeVert, and Ja Morant are the guys. If you wanted to get, again, this is setting up for the stars and scrubs approach, the lineup build. If you wanted to get different and go balanced, I think those are probably the 3 guys I would look to. Ja, LeVert, and DeRozan. Maybe even Nurkic, too, you could throw in there. He had a slow start last game, but picked it up, played 38 minutes. We're probably going to get big minutes from him again. The Spurs basically ran an 8-man rotation. I don't think we have news yet on Patty Mills. He did sit out the last game just kind of for rest. Popovich just wanted to sit him out. I have interest in DeMar at that price. Again, with no LMA, his futures goes up a lot. Derek White and Jonte Murray. Derek White had the big game last time out, went for 47. I don't know. I still like him, but I feel like the ownership will go up after the last game, and I don't think we expect 47 from him again. Again, Jonte Murray was in foul trouble, and if Patty Mills plays, it's a little less minutes for him too. So Derek White is solid, but I don't think I'm going to go there. I'll let others chase. I would personally probably rather take a shot on DeJounte Murray. They're both pretty similar, but I think I like the upside a little bit more on DeJounte Murray. Again, don't be worried about the 21 minutes. He was in foul trouble the whole game. I think we probably get close to 30 in this one if he's out of foul trouble. So both are in play in the mid-range there with White and Murray. I would lean towards Murray though because I think he goes lower owned. Rudy Gay at 5'3". I would prefer getting to the really cheap wings. Rudy Gay is probably going to play 25 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more. He can probably get you 30, 35 fantasy points. But on this slate, it's just really setting up for the stars and scrubs. So I don't think I want to go to Rudy Gay there. Patty Mills, I don't think we have this news yet. Again, he did just sit out. With no Bryn Forbes, I think we probably get 20, 25 minutes from Patty Mills if he plays. If not, then obviously that secures the minutes for Derek White and DeJounte Murray at probably 30 plus for both. Jakob Poeltl, he was a thumbnail to my video. I love him. I don't know why Draftkings priced him at 4K. He played 32 minutes against the Kings. Didn't really have the best game for his standards for 32 minutes, only 27 fantasy points. But that was against a smaller Kings team who ran some small ball 5 with Bielitsa. That kind of took Poeltl out of the game. We know Memphis runs big, right? JV, Triple J, Brandon Clark. They have a traditional big out there at all times. So I think we probably get maybe 35 plus minutes from Jakob Poeltl. I love him here. Could we get popped on this one? I don't even know if there's a chance. Sure, maybe Jakob Poeltl gets 2 quick fouls and he just runs Drew Eubanks the whole game, but it's just the price point is way too appealing. So love Jakob Poeltl. I think he's one of the best value plays of the day. And then there's some interesting wings here. Lonnie Walker at 3.5, I think is also one of the best value plays. Played 32 minutes, went for 25 fantasy points. I think we probably get about the same again. The Spurs basically ran an 8-man rotation, so really do like Lonnie Walker here at his price. I think he will be popular as well. But him, Zach Collins, Jakob Poeltl, I think 3 of the top value plays. Eubanks only saw, 2 minutes that last game. Again, they kind of ran just Rudy Gay at the back. Go Eubanks. Don't think we have to do it. Bellinelli, doubtful, and that's a little bit more minutes for those wings, like a Lonnie Walker, like a Keldon Johnson, who is at min price. And I like, once again, I mentioned him as a low-owned cheap play last time. Played 30 minutes, went for 21.5 fantasy points. I like him. I like Lonnie Walker. And I like Jakob Poeltl a lot for value. Can you play all three of those guys in the same lineup? I think you can if you want to. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities to play all three of those guys in the same lineup. I think they're three of the better value plays of the day. So, yeah, really do like the Spurs today. Those value plays I mentioned. I think the point guards are in play with White and Murray, and then DeRozan at the top at 7-6. Memphis. So, Memphis, there's some good plays here. JV at 8K is a pass. John Morant at 7-3. We're going to get about 35 or so minutes from John Morant, which is really good. Like, early in the season, we would get 25 to 30 maybe. We're going to get 35 on a nightly basis now here in the NBA restart. So I do like Ja Morant. I think he's one of the better plays in the mid-range. Again, a guy like him, a guy like Karis LeVert, DeMar DeRozan, even Yusuf Nurkic should want to go balanced. Like, that's probably how I would go. So really do like Ja here. Good spot too against the Spurs. Again, I know I've said that a lot, but there's I just think he looks really good for his price in the kind of the mid-range. Triple J at 5-2, I like a good amount. Just know what you're getting into if you play him, though. He went for 43 minutes and 43 fantasy points. Again, it went to overtime, and JV was in some foul trouble. So I think those minutes go down a little bit. I think maybe about 35 or so minutes if he stays out of foul trouble. That is a big if, though. Seriously, like, you know, if you play him, there's a good chance he's going to get 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. So it's the risk-reward factor, right? Do you want to take the shot there and hope he stays out of foul trouble? I think if he does stay out of foul trouble, he can definitely get you, over 40 again. But it's really like almost a 50-50 shot that he does get into some foul trouble issues. Brooks and Melton, no interest there. Josh Jackson, make sure you don't play Josh Jackson. Play the right Jackson if you're going to play Jackson in Memphis. It's Jaren Jackson that I like. And then finally, Brandon Clark at 4-2, I think also looks like one of the better value plays here. Played 34 minutes. Again, I think JV foul trouble in the OT pushes up a little bit. I think we probably get closer to 25 to 28 minutes from Clark, but he's a really good point per minute guy. And again, a good spot against the Spurs. So I do like Clark. I do like Triple J for value bigs. I think they're two really solid plays here. But that's really it. So yeah, Memphis, all in all, it's Ja, it's Triple J, and it's Brandon Clark for me. Let's move on to the Kings and the Magic. I'll make this really, really quick for you guys. The Sacramento Kings are a team I have zero interest in. Like Boston, I don't think we have to go there with anyone. Fox did have a good game the last time out, went for 50+, shot the ball 33 times. This is a much worse matchup against Orlando, who played a slow pace. I don't want to go there with Fox. Like, I think he is solid in the mid-range, but I prefer those other guys I mentioned, like LeVert, like DeRozan, like a Ja Morant, and just in better spots. So I'm going to stay away from Fox. And then Holmes, I think, is viable at 5-7, but there's so many good value plays. And he was in some foul trouble. I think we probably get 30 to 32 minutes from Holmes, but it's a tougher spot. I think he's okay. I think he's a contrarian play off of some of those center plays I mentioned, but I just prefer those guys. Again, like Jakob Poeltl, like Jarrett Allen, even Thomas Bryant, I prefer. So let's move on to Orlando, another team I have basically no interest in this game. Personally, I'm crossing it off. If you're going to make me pick one, it's going to be Nikola Vucevic at 8-7, but there's so many good center plays that the opportunity cost of playing him at the center spot just really kind of hurts your lineup unless you're trying to get super, super contrarian. So not going there. I'm not going to Aaron Gordon at 7-5. Fournier hit a decent game at 5-9, but again, there's no point for me to pay that much for him. Isaac was limited off the bench. We did play well, but again, 5-8 is still a little bit too pricey for a guy that's going to be on a minutes limit. They ran a deep rotation. Yeah, this game is a stay away for me. We have, let's see, it is 12:35. Okay, so we got about 25 minutes until lock. Just check and see if we got any more news here. Let me check Fantasy Labs because for some reason I can't go on at my computer. Nets will start. Oh, they're starting Tyler Johnson at point guard. Tyler Johnson, LeVert, Harris, Thomas, and Allen. That is okay. That makes me like Tyler Johnson even more as a value play. So that's gonna make it tricky for me. Right now, I'm kind of a 2v2. I have LeVert and Jarrett Allen versus like Harden and Tyler Johnson. That's a tough one. That might be like a game time decision for me. But yeah, that makes Tyler Johnson a lot more viable in my opinion. It's something I definitely got to consider now. I did not want that news, so I was really happy with my lineup, but yeah, that's tricky. Okay, so let's talk about Milwaukee, Houston. This is a 244 over under. Yeah, you're going to want exposure here. Giannis at the top at 11K, I think is one of the best spend ups. Him, Luka, and Harden, I think are your guys at the top. Played 32 minutes, which I was slightly concerned the Bucks maybe limit him, but he was in some foul trouble and did foul out. I think we probably would have got closer to 34 minutes from Giannis in this one. I mean, did you guys just watch what Dallas did to Houston? Again, 150 plus for both. I know it went to overtime. There's zero defense played in this one. Love Giannis. I think he's super, super safe. I think we probably get 32 to 34 minutes. So I think he is one of the best spend-ups. Middleton, contrarian play, yeah, sure. If you want to get off a super chalky Giannis, you could go Middleton. But I just love the upside there with Giannis. No Bledsoe. DiVincenzo and George Hill kind of hold down the point guard duties. DiVincenzo at 5'6", that's too much even in a matchup like this. Now, George Hill is the guy that I do have some interest in at 3'9". I think we probably get 25 to 28 minutes. Again, really good matchup here. 244 over under. So George Hill is a value play. I have a little bit of interest there, but that's really it. I don't think I get to anyone else. So I think it's really Hill and Giannis for me. Middleton, if you want to get super contrarian and get off Giannis, but I will not be doing that. On the Houston side, so we have Harden 11-1. I think he looks really, really good here at the top. I went for 85 fancy points against Dallas. I'm sure this is a tougher matchup against Milwaukee. Milwaukee is solid defensively, but just the pace of play here, right? Both teams play super, super fast. So even though the matchup's tough, I think Harden is someone you have to consider. He's going to play 35 to 38 minutes. He's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. He shot the ball really well the last game, 14 of 20. Now, I'm slightly concerned that maybe Milwaukee follows suit with guarding Harden, just double teaming him like Dallas did. That kind of worked for Dallas. So that is in the back of my mind that maybe Milwaukee just doubles Harden every time, and that would obviously not be good for his fantasy production. Westbrook at 9.8, I think goes very low owned compared to Harden. If you want to get different, I actually don't hate that idea. The one positive potentially is, again, maybe Milwaukee follows suit and kind of doubles Harden, and then obviously that is a huge boost to Westbrook because he's going to have to do it all offensively. So, I think Harden will garner a lot of ownership. Westbrook, if you want to get different. The other plays here, Covington at 6'4", I'll pass. I know he's going to play big minutes, but I think there's better plays for their value for the price. Danuel House, I have some interest, but know where you're going to if you play him. He's going to play big minutes, probably 35 to 38. He's got to knock down the threes though. If he's not knocking down the threes, he does have a low floor. So that's the issue with House, right? We saw like 30 minutes, 17 fantasy points, 26 minutes, 11 fantasy points. Like he does have a low floor if he's not hitting those threes. So I think he's in play, but be warned, if he's not knocking down those threes, he does not have a high floor. And that's really it. I don't think I would consider anyone else here for Houston. So lastly, let's talk about Dallas Phoenix. Dallas, Luka at the top is one of my favorite plays as well, 10-8. Matchup great against Phoenix. Not scared of anyone there defensively. He's going to play big minutes, probably 37 to 38 minutes. He does it all. Rebounds, assist. We'll get you some blocks and steals too. Triple-double upside every single time he takes the court. So love Luka here at 10-8. Him, Giannis, Harden are the guys I like at the top. Porzingis is interesting at 9K, but again, he's center, which makes it tricky. There's so many good cheap center plays that I don't think I would get to Porzingis now. He's like in the late slate, yeah, for sure. Look to Porzingis, right? He's going to go under the radar. I mentioned really liking him that last game against Houston. He was 8.6 and went for 70 fantasy points. But again, just the opportunity cost of wasting one of those cheap centers on Porzingis. I think he's more just a late slate play for me, and definitely someone I'll look to for sure on the late slate. So the other plays I'm going to stay away from Dallas. Like Hardaway Jr. everyone had a good game, but I don't think we see 150 fantasy points scored in overtime, right? So THJ at 6'1", I'm going to pass. I'm not going to Seth Curry or Kleber or DeLon Wright or DFS. Trey Burke might pick up some ownership. He could not miss. Literally, I think he started like 8 of 8 from downtown. Went 8 of 10 for the game. 30 minutes, 47 fantasy points. I'm going to let others chase it. I'm going to pass. I don't think we get that type of minutes or production again from Trey Burke. So I'm going to stay away from him. I think the ownership will go up, and I don't think we expect that shooting game again from him. Lastly, we have Phoenix. So Booker and Ayton, I think, go make for interesting plays. I think they're more just late slate plays for me. Like I'm not going to prioritize either of them on the main slate when you have so many good plays above them or so many good plays below them, like right below. Rubio, kind of the same thing, right? This Phoenix team is Just a team I would probably just consider for the late slate. I don't think I'm going to get to any of these guys in the main slate. Sarge, Bridges, no thank you. Cam Johnson, there's better value. So I think that's really it for the team-by-team breakdown. We got about 15 minutes until lock. So let me check one more thing here. Let me check Fantasy Labs, and then, all right, I think we're good to go. So let's get to some questions here, guys. All right. Brad Wanamaker. Yeah, no thank you on Wanamaker. Doncic, LeVert, Walker, Giannis, Allen, Ish, Collins, Pirtle for cash. Yes, I like that a lot. For cash, I go Luka or Harden, whichever you think will score more studs and scrubs. Yeah, definitely stars and scrubs in my opinion. House, Barnes, Cam Johnson, only one. Of those three, I'll go House, but again, what you're getting from him is he's got to knock down those threes. Core plays, yeah. So core plays. Let's see. I'm gonna go the value here. So I'm gonna go Zach Collins. I think he's one of the best value plays of the day there. I think Jakob Poeltl as well. That's just way too cheap. And then let's see. Who else do I want to give here? There are. I'm going to go Lonnie Walker for value as well. I think he looks really good. Him, Keldon Johnson, if you want to get to them too. And then lastly, I got to go Giannis as my stud. But Luka, Harden, I think you can play all three. And that's the lineup I'm kind of considering right now. It's basically I either get off Jarrett Allen and LeVert and get to Harden and Tyler Johnson and kind of rearrange my lineup a little bit. That's the 2v2 I'm kind of considering, and something that, if I did switch it, I would have Harden, Giannis, and Luka in my lineup. But then, again, I would get off LeVert and Jarrett Allen, who I really like, too. So it's a tough situation for me right now. Any thoughts on Brook Lopez? I'm going to pass. There's better center plays, in my opinion. Pirtle or Allen? Pirtle for his price. Troy Brown or House? I'll go Troy Brown there. Here's my situation. I really think Middleton's value at 6.9 FanDuel. Playing him in place of Lillard DeRozan also allows me to upgrade. Yeah, I'm good at that. I mean, the price looks a lot better there in FanDuel, 6.9 for Middleton. Let's see. Any thoughts? Okay, I already said that. Fournier, I'm going to pass. No. TBJ, Bridges, Napier, Ross, or DiVincenzo for cash. Price doesn't matter. Not really a fan of any of those guys. I guess Bridges. I like this. I think I like this. Let's see. Westbrook, LeVert, Lonnie, Collins, Jarrett Allen, Troy Brown, Giannis, and Pirtle. Yeah, very similar to mine as well. Lillard and Lonnie Walker or McCollum and Murray for GPPs. Let's see. McCollum and Murray or Lillard and Walker. I'll go McCollum and Murray. Would you take Keldon over House? I would take Keldon over Daniel House personally. I think again, House is kind of just a stand in the corner, shoot threes guy. So I would prefer Keldon for the discount too. Who gets more fantasy points tonight, Rui or Pirtle? Price doesn't matter. That's a close one. I think Pirtle still gets more than Rui. I think it's close, but I think Pirtle outscores Rui today. Doncic, LeVert, Lonnie Walker, Giannis, Jarrett Allen, Ish, Collins, Pirtle for cash. Yeah, I think that is my exact lineup right now. But again, I'm considering getting off LeVert, considering getting off Jarrett Allen to get Harden, to get Tyler Johnson. I'm scared of fading Harden for sure in a 244 over-under. It's a scary fade. Keldon Johnson, Ennis, or Bonga, GPP punt. Definitely Keldon Johnson there. Ish and Clark or Tyler Johnson and Triple J. Tyler Johnson and Triple J for me. This is my lineup. I copped Harden, Pirtle, and DeRozan with them. Let's see. Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown Jr., and Triple J. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not overly excited about Troy Brown. I think he's okay. How about Kem Birch? No, thank you. Jakob Poeltl really worth 40+ percent ownership. Yes, I think he's the best play of the day, in my opinion. I think we get 35+ minutes from him. So, yeah, I love Jakob Poeltl. Thoughts on Holmes? I think Holmes is an interesting pivot off of those center plays I mentioned. I would consider him as a GPP pivot. I think we probably get 30 to 32 minutes from him. But I prefer Jarrett Allen. I prefer Thomas Bryant. I prefer Jakob Poeltl. Ish or Shabazz? Ish for the discount. Who do you suggest I put Melton in for? LeVert or DeRozan? I think DeRozan is more of a sure thing. Personally, I would plug him in for DeRozan. I like LeVert's upside a little bit more, but that's just me. I'm rolling Harden, Johnson, DeRozan, Giannis, Allen, Collins, Pirtle, and best 4,100 guard. Yeah, that looks good to me. Troy Brown or Shabazz Napier or Ish Smith, Isaac Bonga for okay. Troy Brown or Shabazz Napier or Ish Smith, Isaac Bonga or TLC Chris Chioza. I wouldn't consider Bonga. I wouldn't really consider TLC. I wouldn't consider Chioza. The only plays I would consider there are Ish and Troy Brown, so you can play both those guys. But I don't think Troy Brown's the best player. Keldon or Lonnie, that's a tough one. I think Lonnie will be a lot more popular. So I think Lonnie's your cash game play. Keldon for GPP pivot. Again, I think you can play both those guys who, In my opinion, both probably get 30 or so minutes. I think LeVert will be lower owned after this game, after his last game. I think that is true. Westbrook, Troy Brown, or Harden, Tyler Johnson. It's going to be Harden and Tyler Johnson for me there. White or Murray. I'm going to go to Jonte Murray. I think the ownership will drop on him after he got in foul trouble. Holmes or Clark. Well, they're different prices. Holmes has more upside. If you can get to Holmes, go Holmes. But I like Clark for value. Thoughts on Tatum? Don't want to leave too much on the table. I have no interest in Jason Tatum. This is so tough. Westbrook, Troy Brown, or Luka Ish. Really, really tough there. I'm going to go Luka Ish there. Can Westbrook have a better game than Harden? Yes, if Milwaukee double teams Harden like Dallas did, which, again, that is a slight concern with Harden. Tyler Johnson, LeVert, Keldon Johnson, Clark, Allen, Harden, Giannis, Pirtle. Look good. Ish, Pirtle, George Hill. Of those three guys, definitely Pirtle for me. Booker, Harden, Walker, Giannis, Pirtle, Ish, Clark, Collins for GPP. Yeah, Booker's going to go super low owned. Everything else looks good there. Who's the best 4,100 play? Best 4,100 play. I think you needed a guard, right? So 4,100 play guard. Let's see. Well, that's a tricky one, right? I think George Hill-ish, Lonnie Walker if you don't have him. And then if you want to get all the way down to Tyler Johnson, like those are the value plays I'd look to for guard. Troy Brown and Brandon Clark or Lonnie and Thomas Bryant. I'll go Lonnie and Thomas Bryant. Ish Smith or Tyler Johnson, price doesn't matter. I know, that's what I mean, I have Ish right now currently, but I'm thinking about going Tyler Johnson, and then I would have to get Harden in there too and take out LeVert and Allen, who I really want to play. I got about 13 minutes to decide against me last-minute decision for me. Like I go Pirtle, Brooks, Collins, or Johnson plus Triple J. Johnson plus Triple J for me. Would you play Russ and Harden? No, I would not play both. Vooch or Ayton? I'll go Ayton because he's power forward eligible. I want Thomas Bryant and Josh. I want Thomas Bryant with Jared Allen. Yeah, that's good with me. Real quick though, again, we got about 12 minutes to lock. If you guys enjoy all this free content, if you're new to the channel, would really appreciate if you could hit that like button. Truly does help me out a lot here. Ish and Ja or Tyler Johnson and LeVert. That's a tough one. I'll go Tyler Johnson and LeVert. Clark, Bielitsa, or Collins. Clark, Bielitsa, or Collins. Wait, why am I? Zach Collins. Yeah, I was like, wait, I'm blanking on Collins. Clark, Bielitsa, or Collins. Well, Collins for the value. I like him best point per dollar. I tried getting Harden in that line, pretty tough, haha. Yeah, man, I think I might stick with it, but I really do want to jam Harden in there too with Luka and with Giannis. Thoughts on Trey Burke? I'm going to pass. He did have an amazing shooting day, but I don't think he shoots that well. I think the minutes go down on him a bit too. PJ Tucker, House. Definitely House for me, the better offensive player, better shooter. But again, what he has to do is he has to hit those threes. Bryant or Clark? I'm going to go Thomas Bryant, but I do like both value. Brook Lopez could be super sneaky with blocks and points down low. Yeah, he can. Again, I think he's kind of like Rashawn Holmes, an interesting pivot off of those centers I mentioned, but I prefer the other guys. LeVert or John Morant? I'll go LeVert. ABC Luka or ABC Dame. ABC Luka for sure. Play LeVert, yes or no? Kind of what I'm deciding too right now. It's basically, personally, I would have to take out Ish, LeVert, and Jared Allen, and then put in Harden, Tyler Johnson, and then who else would I already had this set. Harden, Tyler Johnson, and then Keldon Johnson, who I would plug in. Again, that's kind of be a last-minute decision for me. Play LeVert, yes or no? Yeah, so I really do like LeVert, so it's a tough call. I have 100 left and could grab Joe Harris instead of Troy Brown. I'm leaning towards sticking with Brown. I'm not a huge fan of Joe Harris, to be honest. Pirtle, Porzingis, DeRozan, or Luka, Triple J, and Allen. Pirtle, Porzingis, DeRozan, or Luka, Triple J, Allen. I will go with the first option there. That's close, though. Johnson or Zach Collins. That's tough. I think I'd go Zach Collins, but I do like both for value. With price not mattering, Clark or Collins. That's almost a 50-50. I think it's a 50-50 if price doesn't matter. Obviously, Collins is the better point per dollar play. So, yeah, if price didn't matter, I think they're both going to be about the same production-wise. Middleton or DeRozan for me. Okay, I'm coming down to Tyler Johnson, 9K utility GPP. 9K utility GPP, let's see. Porzingis. If you have a center spot open, if you don't, then probably one of Booker or Ayton would be the way I'd go. Middleton, Murray, or Giannis, Troy Brown. Giannis, Trey Brown for me. Middleton bounce back game. Yeah, again, I don't hate the idea of going to Middleton off a super chalky Giannis. Thoughts on Porzingis? I like him in the late slate. I like him as a contrarian option, but I just really do. It's an opportunity cost of playing him at one of the center spots. I really do like the cheap centers. Middleton and LeVert and DK. It's going to be LeVert for me. Tyler Johnson, Ja, Harden, Lonnie, House, Giannis, Holmes, Triple J, Jarrett Allen, Cash. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think Holmes still is cash game viable because he probably should get 30 or so minutes. DeRozan or CJ DeRozan for me. Is Luka safe for full minutes? I think so. I haven't heard anything else of him being limited. So I think we probably get 38 or so from Luka. Would be my best guess. Kemba, 17 to 23 minutes restriction. So do not play Kemba. Booker, Porzingis, GPP. I like the upside a little bit more with Porzingis. Again, it's the opportunity cost, though, of using him in the center spot. Giannis and Milton play. Wait, what? A Giannis and Milton play? I don't know what you mean. Should I cut my left mouth or my right? I'll go left. Let's see. Any foul risk with Pirtle against aggressive Grizzlies? Yeah, a little bit. But I'm not going to get off him because of that slight concern. Right? Like, I was concerned on a guy like Miles Turner, right? But yeah, I think I just landed in the same lineup with Harden. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, you had the same lineup as me for cash games, and that's something I'm considering pivoting to. It's going to be, I think, a game time call here for me. Good luck, everyone. Thanks, TK. Yeah, of course, man. We're almost to 200 viewers again here, so guys, enjoy the content. A like button would be greatly appreciated. Morant, Tyler Johnson, Lonnie, Collins, Pirtle, LeVert, Doncic, Westbrook, good for me. 6K for utility. Let's see, 6K utility. Let me scroll down here. 6K utility. I have interest in Jonte Murray. Jonte Murray or Rashawn or Jarrett Allen. If you don't have Jarrett Allen already, that's probably where I would go. I'm hoping Dallas doesn't blow out Phoenix, honestly. Oh, man. I am so thinking about going to this lineup that I mentioned, guys. The 3v3 swap is so tricky for me right now. Again, the upside of Harden is enormous, but then I have to get off of LeVert and Jarrett Allen, who I love. Let's see. I'm hoping Dallas doesn't blow out Phoenix, honestly. I think with Suns fighting for playoffs, I can stay close to Dallas. Yeah, definitely. Tyler Johnson or Jerome Robinson? Tricky one. I'll go Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson, Jerome Robinson, Harden, Doncic, Giannis, Keldon Johnson, Clark, Collins, Thomas Bryant. Yeah, I think that looks good. Keldon Johnson. I do like Keldon Johnson a lot. I do. Thoughts on Covington today? He's just in a tricky price range at 6'4", so it makes it difficult for me to get to him. Again, I prefer some other plays right above him with like DeRozan, LeVert, John Morant, Nurkic. I'm getting weird today. Tyler Johnson, LeVert, Keldon Johnson, Giannis, Bryant, Booker, DeRozan, Pirtle. Yeah, I mean, that looks good, right? You're going to get a little bit different there with going a little slightly balanced with Giannis. Johnson or Ish Smith, I'm thinking Johnson will get around 29 minutes by DK. Yeah, I mean, I might even play Tyler Johnson over Ish. That's, again, kind of close. I think I'm personally going to stick with my lineup of LeVert and Jarrett Allen. I know, like, fading Harden for me is super, super scary in a 244 over-under, but I'm going to take the shot. And I think the ownership will drop on guys like Allen, like LeVert, and it's just such a good spot. Both should play 35-plus minutes. So I'm going to stick with it. If it burns me, it burns me, but that was my original lineup. I'm going to go with my gut there. There's the winning lineup. Everyone thank me in the next video. Rudy Gay or Evan Fournier or Bridges, Troy Brown. I don't really like either option too much. I'll go Rudy Gay and Fournier. I want an Ish ceiling game. I do too. I think we probably get around 25 minutes from Ish. So, yeah, he's a guy I currently have in. I could swap him out for Tyler Johnson if I wanted to. But, it's right. Like, no Beal. Like, Ish is going to have to do more offensively. I think I'm just going to stick with Ish. But, yeah, that's a close call for me too. Tyler Johnson, chalk scaring me. Yeah, it scares me a little bit too, but I think we probably get about 25 from Tyler Johnson. I took Morant, LeVert, Giannis. Walker, Allen, Triple J, Bryant, and Troy Brown. I'm running LeVert, Allen, line, and Cash, and other, and GPP. That's good for me to know. Yeah, I think I'm just sticking with the one and everything, but I do like that other one as well. Westbrook, Ja, Levert or Doncic. Wait, Westbrook, Ja, Levert, or Doncic, Harden, Keldon. Westbrook, Ja, Levert. Ooh, that's a really tough one. I will go Westbrook, Ja, and Levert there, but that's close. Tatum or Nurkic, it's Nurkic for me. Tyler Johnson, Levert, and Allen. I think you can play all three together. I think you can. Rui or Rocco. I'll take Rocco for the savings. I'm not really on Rui. How do you feel about Tim Hardaway then? I don't really have a whole lot of interest in Tim Hardaway. Yeah, again, I just don't think he shot the ball really well that last game. I mean, everyone did. Like, no one was missing. What do you go for? 37 fantasy points. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stay away at 6-1. I think there's better place for their 6K and under utility and DK. Yes, I think I said DeJounte Murray or Jarrett Allen for me. If you have both or you need someone else, maybe Rashawn Holmes. Tatum or Rui. Well, Tatum or Rui, I'll go Tatum, but I'm not really on Jason Tatum. Walker or Keldon Johnson. I think it's Walker for cash, Keldon Johnson for GPP. Let's see, 6K or under. I take Jarrett Allen. Yeah, it's Jarrett Allen. If I had to pick, if you already have Jarrett Allen, then maybe DeJounte Murray. That's probably how I would go. Yeah, we got about 3 minutes to lock. Let me check, see if there's any overlay right now in DK. George Hill, Todd Johnson. If I play Hill, I can't fit into DeMar or Levert. Well, if that's the case, then go Tyler Johnson. Or you can. Wait, if I play Hill, I can fit into DeMar or Levert. I mean, they're kind of similar. George Hill, I think, goes a little bit forgotten about for value guards. But I think Tyler Johnson will eat up a good amount of ownership. I think Ish will get ownership. So I don't mind the pivot to George Hill. That one's almost a 50-50 for me. Went back to Ish. I'm trusting you, DK. Haha. Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough call right now with Ish and Tyler Johnson for me. I think they're both pretty similar. Do you have Luka? I do have Luka. Walker, Johnson, DK, Cash. It's Walker, again, Walker, Cash, and then Keldon Johnson, GPP. You ever mess around with the single games? Not really. I'll play, like, the late game. So, like, what's the late game? Dallas, Phoenix, I'll probably play the single game. Levert, DeMar DeRozan, ABC, Middleton, thoughts? Yeah, I mean, you're playing Middleton and ABC. It could work out, but I would probably try to only get one of Giannis or Middleton. Ish is good on DK, not FanDuel. Yeah, I don't really know what his price is on FanDuel, so I haven't looked there. Nurkic or Vucevic, it's Nurkic for me because he's power forward eligible. Ish, Clark, or Tyler Johnson, Troy Brown. I'll go Ish and Clark. Let's see, I'm actually running with Levert, Allen line in both with my gut. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. If Harden burns me, he burns me. But that's the way I'm going. Just curious, why no FanDuel? Well, I mean, now that they do have, my thought process was, or not my thought process, I just didn't like they didn't have late swap. Now that they do have late swap, I would consider going to FanDuel. I like the DK scoring more, though. I don't like how FanDuel gives you 3 points for a block and a steal and -1 for a turnover. I like DraftKings 2 points for a block and a steal and -0.5 for a turnover. So, like, turnover-prone guys, it doesn't hurt you too much. And then blocks and steals for some guys can be a pretty high variance, right? Like, so I just like the scoring a little bit better in DK. Now, I think DraftKings is the website where a lot more of the sharks play. So if you wanted maybe easier competition, FanDuel might be the way to go. But, again, I just like the scoring a little bit better on DraftKings. Levert or DeMar. Again, I'm going to go Levert. It's close there. Good luck, everyone. We're locked. Oh, we are locked. Let's go. Tyler Johnson or Melton? Yeah, it's Tyler Johnson for me at his price. I'm curious to see what some ownership is here. So I'm going to stay on for another 2 minutes, go over ownership, and then I got to get out of here because I am going to be on the road for a bit. Let's see. Appreciate you, Duque. Yeah, no problem, man. Love doing this. So no issue at all. Thanks, TK. Good luck, everyone. Lonnie or Buddy? Well, they're a lot of different prices, right? And I like the discount there with Lonnie. So Buddy Hield's not really a guy I'm going to get to on this one. If I had to pick a king, it would be Bogdan, but I'm not playing any Sacramento Kings. Thanks, DK. Yeah, of course, man. Let's get some ownership. All right. Levert, Allen, 28%, my $5 GPPs. I like that. Yeah, I got Levert at 50 cents. So this is in the $40 tournament. I'll go over some ownership. I think we're going to get some pretty high ones. So Ishmael coming in at 50% from me. Levert at 57. Jarrett Allen at 38 in the $40 single entry. And I'm curious to see what Troy Brown picked up 20%. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Troy Brown. Let's see. Tyler Johnson coming in at 26% owned. Thomas Bryant, 41%, right? So Bryant is getting a little bit more ownership than Jarrett Allen. Again, it's him, it's Allen, it was Pirtle for me for the centers. So not really surprised to see Thomas Bryant get a lot of ownership too. Let's see. DeRozan, Murray, okay together. I think you can play them together, yeah. I think that's a little bit more of a contrarian build, but I think you can do it. DK, GPP, George Hill, Harden, Lonnie Walker, Clark, Pirtle, Tyler Johnson, Giannis, and Porzingis. Yeah, I like that for GPPs for sure. Appreciate your help, DK. Yeah. How do you check usage rate? So I don't really have a good way to check it. I don't use any research or like use any tools. I just kind of know when like one player out, like who gets the big boost, right? So I personally don't use anything. There's definitely like websites and stuff you can probably check that, but I don't use any of those tools. I see Allen 40 plus fantasy points here. Yeah, I really like Jarrett Allen. Again, him, Thomas Bryant, Jakob Poeltl, those centers I liked. All right, guys. I hope you guys all have a good day. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's important to do so. I'll keep you guys updated if we get any more news. I got to get out of here, though. Again, I'm going to be on the road for a bit. So good luck, everyone. Hope we win some money, and I will be back for a video for breakdown of Monday's slate later tonight, and then I'll be live Monday as well. So I'll see you guys then.